Hello, this is Rochelle Graham, and I'm here to help you get the most out of this great website. There are many resources here that most people have no idea of all the things they have access to, and so I'm going to share them with you now. First, you need to log in. If you don't remember your password, click on Forget Your Password. They'll email it to you, and you'll be able to follow the prompts to sign in. When you get signed in, the main screen will look like this. First thing you need to do, just once when you first go on, is go up here to the picture of yourself and go to Select Role. Make sure that you have your role selected. So we are members of the Washington Day class. You might also have the option for this, but that's not what we're using right now. If you want to see our current lectures and notes and things, you need to make sure that you've selected Member Washington Women's Day and confirm. Now, here's the main site, the blog, online, but you can go to lessons here or up here, click on lessons. And this is where most things that you need will be. This will always open up the current week. So we're on lesson 1, which means that these are the questions that you are currently working on. If you look up here, it's for discussion on the 21st, which helps a little bit to make clear which week. But that also means that the lecture, won't be live or won't be available until after discussion on the 21st. So if you come here and wonder why is there no lecture and it's confusing, it's because it will come up on the 21st. And on that same day, this page will go to the next and it'll say lesson 2. So to get to the lecture from the previous week, you need to click on the back arrow. Now we have the questions we went over last week, the notes from last week, and the lecture that was on the 14th up here. These are the things that we discussed on the 14th. This is the lecture that was said or went live on the 14th. So these aren't the questions you're studying right now. For that, you need to go back to lesson 1. These are your current questions. You can download them here as a PDF or as a Word document, which means that you can type in the answers if you want to. The notes are here. You can also access the daily dives, which is a very useful thing for discussion with family and friends. It looks like this. It kind of summarizes and pulls the whole week's lesson together. It's a great way. It has a family activity. It's a great way to discuss it with people, and it breaks it down to the big truths, if you will. Attribute of God for the week. It's a great thing to discuss with your family or just to give yourself the highlights. We also have all the student program activity guides. So if you need the questions for any of your children's programs, or if you have kids in these levels that you'd like to have go along with you, or just use for your own home use, you can click on any one of these PDFs and it will download that. That's pretty much everything you need. Again, you go back a week for your lecture. It will be the lecture as of the date above. These are the questions for the week leading up to this date. What you'll be discussing on this date are the questions shown on here. Another thing that you may not know about is the resource library, and there are so many great resources here. I'm going to share a few with you. If you click on Resource Library, you can first of all type anything into this you want. So I'm going to type in pray, and you'll see here we've got some things that come up on the topic of prayer. This is to a song and the instrumental of that same song that we use in the preschool program about what is prayer. This is a document on helping your child to pray, a document on praying for your child, and ways parents can pray for themselves. So a lot of great resources on prayer. You can also go to the category, and you'll see here Daily Dive is here. If you click on that, you'll see every daily dive for the whole year. If you need to go to the next page, there's arrows down here. If you go to General, there are some different things, and one great thing is the Am I Sure brochure. This is something you can pick up at the front desk if you'd like to, but it looks like this, and it lets you download it. Am I Sure? This is what the brochure looks like. It's like a track. If you have questions yourself, or if you want to refer it to somebody or send it to somebody, you can download it, send it in an email. You can get a physical copy at the front table, and it just walks through the surety of your salvation. So that's under General. You can go to Preschool. There's a lot of different things you can click through and look at the different categories. Preschool, this is a great parent resource. It looks like this, and this is fantastic because it has, lesson 1, the title of the lesson, the scripture that they're going over, the verse that they're learning or using, the attribute of God that they're going over, the main truth they're focusing on, and the song that they're likely to be singing. And this goes for the whole year long. So if you want to follow along with what your child will be doing or do anything leading up to the study that week, you can know what's happening there. If you go to music, you'll also pull up all the songs and their instrumental versions. Good Morning God is a really sweet little song they use every day that you might want to integrate into your own home. But most of these songs are fantastic to integrate. And the audio files are here. So you can get all the great songs that they use. Teaching resources is another one that has a lot of great things. This has the lesson map, the timeline, the divided story chart. I'll show you what that one looks like. It's here. It's very helpful. It shows you pre-exile, all of these, each one and who their main subject is, the kings during that time, and the scripture during that time. So a really useful chart. This also has really great attributes of God is a really great resource as well. Study helps. And then these are really great for parents. These are how to talk about hard subjects, explaining the Bible, preparing a child for spiritual abuse, parents' privilege, teaching biblical truths, helping your child learn to pray. They're all a one sheet that looks like this that gives you some basic ideas and help in teaching or support for all kinds of different questions that you might have about different parenting things that come up. Lastly, I want to bring your attention to this heart up here. It will bring up a different website that's for support, which is really helpful. If it's a challenge for you with the basket and being there or being prepared, I find this really helpful. You can actually give to our own group. So if you click on Give to your group, you can set up an automatic thing or do a one-time. But the best part is it's exactly the same as if you put it in the basket in church on a Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, whichever day you're there. But it goes to our own group. It funds and gives, and we use it to pay for the churches as a thank you for letting us use their facilities. And then whatever is left over once a month, we get an announcement from the pulpit telling us how much money we were able to send back to the home office to support their ministry and supporting the ministry locally. You can also go to the blog here, to the store. Prayer Resources is another useful website. It's its own site, and it has a prayer guide, lesson by lesson. You can expand this, and it walks you through praying over each lesson. So that could be a very useful resource as well. I hope this has been helpful. Again, go to lessons, go back a week. You'll find your lecture. You'll find your lessons here, and that's where you'll spend most of your time, but don't forget about some of these other resources that are available to you. Until next time.